evening, students. Today I'll be just instructing on two exercises, two experiments, tension test and compression test. Both, if you just see, both are similar, but slight changes in the specimen which you people take for the conduction of the experiments. Today we'll just know what is exactly the tensile strength. So tensile strength, if I just tell, it is the resistance of material to breaking under tension. Another, if I just come the same and find out what is compression strength, the resistance of a material to breaking under compression. So if you just go with something, a representation of graph of stress versus strain, because you have studied there in your strength of materials subject, you will have a slight changes in both the representation of graphs. And here, why we are just conducting this tension test as well as compression test, it's because we have to find out the different parameters of different materials. If I say the real world example, if you just consider any material which you had to take to construct the bridges, buildings, or some sort of building materials, or say something rods or anything. So materials are important. So by looking at the Young's modulus, you will just come across what type of material is suitable for what type of building constructions which is there in the real world. So for this reason, if you just know basically what exactly happens and how to test this tension test as well as compression test, you will have an idea what will happen in the real world. So our aim is, if I just talk about this tension strength, a student, if I just say, you people have to know exactly the principle of uniaxial tensile testing to achieve the tensile property. So uniaxial is a direction of force which is applied. In the axis, if you apply a load, then it is called as uniaxial axis. So that you will just come to know, that's because you are using uniaxial tensile testing in order to achieve the tensile properties. Another one is, students will be able to explain load extension and stress strain relationships and represent in graphical forms. So if you just come to know about the stress and strain relationship, for example your Hooke's law, where you can come to know whether it is elastic or plastic the material, you can represent that in the graphical state. So that is another one which you people have to learn. Another one is to evaluate the values of stress, yield stresses, ultimate tensile stress, proof stress, percentage of elongation in length, percentage of reduction. If I just say compression, this percentage of reduction, breaking stress and Young's modulus. So all these are necessary for you people to know before you just know about what is the various tests which is conducted in the material science. So mainly the tensile testing is required or useful for selection of engineering materials for any application required. So as I told you in the beginning, you require this because of the selection of engineering materials. Okay? Because engineering materials will undergo many types of forces. So how it will react, what type of material you require. So for this reason, we conduct this type of tests. So here you will just know about the relationship of stress and strain, and then you got to, after finding out the stresses of a particular point, you got to see the particular strain and then determine various properties. The properties which you people have to find out is Young's modulus, you have to find out yield strength, ultimate tensile strength, fracture strength. This is the one which you people have to find. If I just say the graph, this side is stress and this side is strain, and then you can just see that there is a linear graph which follows the Hooke's law, and then this point where it starts. So till here you can say it's elastic, it's under elastic limit, and then where it starts yielding, so here you can just say it's elastic as well as plastic, and then plastic limit, and then at the end it will not result into any elastic state, but whole thing it will become plastic and finally it rupture. So some points which they have noted down, in particular steel, in stainless steel or hard steel, all this steel, if you just take the curve of stress and strain, you can just get a straight line where you can gain back the property till here, and then this is nothing but the yield strength, and this is the ultimate strength, and this is the fracture strength. So these things, if you know properly the definition and the properties, you will understand what is exactly the tension test. The aim is to study the behavior of the test specimens under tension under the action of gradually increasing loads tested up to the failure, and determine the yield stress, ultimate tensile stress, proof stress, percentage of elongation in length, percentage of reduction in area, and breaking stress, and the Young's modulus. These are the things. Now, which is the one which you can just conduct these tests is mainly UTM. It's called as Universal Testing Machine. So, Universal Testing Machine is the one which I am showing you. The test which is conducted, the tensile test which is being conducting is with the help of a universal testing machine which is being focused at that place. You can just check that. That is the universal testing machine. Now we'll come back to the apparatus which is required. Universal testing machine is just 10T Amsler type, and then extensometer is required in order to connect the specimen. Extensometer. Yeah, it is not to connect the specimen. This is the extensometer, and then you require the vernier calipers in order to measure the gauge length. Then the scale is required, and the tension shackle. The tension shackle is available in the UTM itself. This extensometer, why is it is required? In order to have the grip of the specimen. So you got to press it inside this, and so that it will hold, and exactly the gauge length has to come in between these two grips here, and then this is to connect this. This is the support in order to connect the specimen and the extensometer. So the shackles will be attached to these corners. Okay. Now the specimen part, if I just come, I'll be telling you people. Now this is the specimen which is used for tension test. Now here we have to consider the gauge length, because we got to fix that into the extensometer. So here, how do you find out the gauge length is? You have to consider from this necking part which has happened here, it's nothing but the shoulder. From here to here you have to measure, and you find out the midpoint. Okay, measure through slide calipers, and then find out the midpoint, the scale, in fact, sorry, the scale you measure, and from here, after with the help of the scale you measure, and then midpoint to this distance which you have found out you measure, and then from the midpoint 60 mm and 60 mm. From here 60 mm you consider, and from here 60 mm you consider. So totally the gauge length will be 120 mm, which will be suitable for the extensometer to connect. So this is a part of specimen.
Tensile test. Tensile test. First you note down the deflection column 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 05, 06, 07, 0.08, 09, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.75, 1, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2, 2.5, 3. One deflection. Okay. Next, two material, one mild steel, one aluminium. First, you take initial, this one vernier, you take initial diameter. Okay, you measure the initial diameter. Okay. You take initial diameter 19. Okay, take initial diameter 19. Next, you marking the shoulder length. Okay, first you marking both sides shoulder length. Next, you scale to measuring the total length. Okay, total length. Okay, 16, you take center mark. Okay, center mark, center to 60 right side, 60 left side. Okay, gauge length 120, gauge length 120. Okay, this one marking both mild steel and aluminum, both materials same. Next, this one tensile test, you use the instrument extensometer. Okay, extensometer, least count 0.01, least count is here 0.01. Is small, each division is equal to 0.01, 02, 03, 09, 10 division is 0.1. Okay, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Next 0.75, your deflection start 0.01 to 3 mm. Okay, small division is equal to 0.01, 02, 09, 10 division 0.1. Okay, one full rotation is equal to 1 mm. Okay, next you stop sharp wedges bottom to top to bottom. Okay, sharp wedges equal to gauge length. Okay, you marking the gauge length, just you fixing the. Okay, okay, you are marking, you are fixing the specimen, same both side. This one fixing the instrument. Okay, next you supporting clamp. This one supporting clamp, this one tensile. Okay, this one extensometer supporting clamp. Okay, this is a universal testing machine. The machine capacity 20 tons or 20,000 kgs. Okay, so kilonewtons. This machine, that machine is a kg meters. This one kilonewtons. Okay, so 100 kilonewton is equal to 10 tons or 10,000 kgs. Is small, each division is equal to per division 0.2. Per division 0.2. This one 2 needles, one red, one black. Black one is a braking load, red one is a ultimate load. Okay, first you select to the 0. You use the knob, select 0. Okay, this one black one is a, red one is a supporting. Okay, next one 2 valves here, one release valve, one delivery valve. Okay, start before, release valve close, delivery valve open. Okay, next already you fixing the both side shackles, same. This one V shackles. Okay, V shackles, just you fixing top to bottom. Okay, same. This one both side you fixing the shackles. Okay, this one V jars. Okay, already both side fixing the shackles. This one rotating, this one open the shackles, this one close. Okay, same. You bottom, this one close, this one open. Okay, just fixing the material. You select the jars, V jars. Okay, next son fixing the bottom, upping. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ ಹಾಂ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸರಿ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಈ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಟೈಟ್. ಓಕೆ one lock, this one hand is lock. Okay, first next is extensometer. You fixing the extensometer. Supporting clamp. Full tight, this one supporting clamp. Okay, so select 0. It actually two dials same. First movement of the dial, you note down the readings. Two dials same. First movement of the dial, note down the readings. You select 0 both side. Okay, your deflection shot 0.01, small division 0.01 s, and note down the load 0.01 s, 02, 03, 09, 10 division 0.1. Okay, 20 division 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, next 0.75, 1 full rotation 1 mm. Okay, 1.5 to 2.5, 3. Your deflection 3 over, you remove the extensometer. And now next you note down the braking load. Okay, start before, release valve close, delivery valve open. Okay, machine start on.
ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ.
ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, ready? ಲೋಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಲೋಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊತೀರಾ 5 division ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ಸೇಮ್ 2 4 6 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ 6 8 1 ಇದೆ 1 ಅದು ಒಂದಂತ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಹಾಂ ಲೋಡ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಇದು 0.01 ಹಾಂ ಅದು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ 0.01 ಲೋಡ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಂ ಲೋಡು ಕೆ ಜಿ ಇದೇನು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಪರ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ನೋಡಿ 1 ಆಯ್ತು ಈಗ 1.2 1.4 ಅದೇನಿದೆ ಅದು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಕೆ ಜಿ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಕೆ ಜಿಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದು ಕಿಲೋ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಇದೆ ಹಾಂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಿಲೋ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಂ ಸೇಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದು ನೋಡಿ ಇದೆ 10 11 12 13 14 ಈ ರೀತಿ 15.2 4 6 16 ಓಕೆ ಹಾಂ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ Okay, ready? 0.01. Okay. Zero point 02. हाँ
3.6 0.02 deflection 3.6 is the load
0.03. 0.04.
6.4
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೇನು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ 0.05. 06. 07. 09. 0.1. Ready? Point 2. Next. Next. Point of. Point 3. Point 5. Point 75. 1. 1.25. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. Okay. Deflection is over. Remove the extensometer. You note down the braking load. You observe the black one braking load. Okay. Remove the extensometer. You see the necking formation. Just you breaking the small diameter. You observe the black one braking load. And note down the ultimate load. You see necking formation, okay, small diameter. Elongation the Okay, you see necking formation. Okay, breaking, note on the breaking load. Okay, breaking load 30.4 breaking load. Ultimate load 38.2 ultimate load. Breaking load 30.4. Okay,
Ultimate is
30.4. Okay,
30.4. 30.4 is
34.4. Sorry.
34.4 is breaking load.
Look, ultimate load
Ultimate is
35, 6, 7, 8, 8.4.
8.2.
8.4. Okay. Next, just you open the lock, remove the material. This one final length, you total length, measure the final length, diameter is 8 mm. Okay, 8. First initial diameter is 10 mm. Okay, first initial gauge length is 120. You measure the total length, elongation 145 mm. 25 mm is a elongation. Okay, 25 mm elongation, 145. Initial gauge length 120, final length is 145 mm. 25 mm elongation. Okay, you calculate the Young's model. Okay, aluminum material. Same, you take shoulder length, you measure the shoulder length, total measure the shoulder length. Okay, 16 mm. So you center mark. Okay, center to 60 mm. 60 mm right side, 60 mm left side. Okay, gauge length 120. Total length, gauge length 120. You marking the round shape. Okay, both material, gauge length is here, then round shape. Okay, this one shoulder length, same. Okay, so you fix the excentometer 120 gauge length, fix excentometer, same material.
Thank you, Krishnamurthy sir. So, if you just come to know about the stress strain relationship, how the diagram, you can just come to know the specimen diagram for continuous breakage of specimen, and at the final specimen how it will represent. This picture we have just collected through some notes where I have got this picture. Related to this picture of specimen which is broken down at the breaking, which is fractured at the point, it is related to the graphical representation which is I have just given you. This will be the initial length of the specimen, and finally when it is away from the elastic limit, the specimen would have turned like this, and then when the necking starts, that is nothing but the initial stage of plastic, and then finally ultimately it will break. So this point is nothing but the necking, and this here the fracture will occur. So depending upon this loads, you have to calculate the parameters or the properties which we have asked in the experiment. So depending upon that, if you just go, this will be the necking, this is the fracture point, this is the yield strength, and this is the initial strength. So this is exactly what the curve, the diagram also you have to write it in the record in this fashion, and in the test if we ask, you should write it in the same way, as well as you have to draw this with the help of the graph sheets and represent each and every properties of the material, which is, this is nothing but the steel, mild steel. The same thing will be there for the aluminium. Slight changes in the graph, which you can just because mild steel, aluminium is also a ductile material, as well as mild steel is also a ductile material. Slight changes in the curve you can get it. If you just go with the cast iron, you can just come to know about various type of graphical representation of different materials. So aluminum you might get like this. This will be the steel ductile material. This is also ductile. This one is nothing but brittle material. So cast iron, the rupture occurs immediately. That means to say it would have attained plasticity at the earlier stage. So this is the difference you have to write with various materials when you are using to conduct the tensile test. The similar fashion, you will do the compression test in the same way for the tensile test, and we've got the material before and after the conduction of the test specimen. Now for the similarities, the similar thing which we are doing for compression, we have to take this type of material. This one is mild steel and this one is cast iron. This is mild steel and this one is cast iron. This is ductile in nature and this is brittle in nature. Okay. So what will happen after the end of the experiment? You can see the difference. This is the initial specimen, and after the conduction of the experiment, you will get the specimen like this after the rupture happens. This is for only mild steel. Here what has happened, you can just see the length is reduced here. The area is here which is decreased. Here it is area and this one is increased. The area is increased, the length is decreased. Okay, this is what happens in compression. Whereas it is little exactly the opposite which happens in tensile. So but in compression you have to keep it in your mind that the area will be increased, the length will be decreased. So this is for mild steel. And you can just also say informally like this one is something like a cylinder, and at the end you can get the dimension of the like a barrel. You can just see this. You can just see it is like a barrel. So this is what the specimen of mild steel is. The next one, this is cast iron. Now cast iron, since it is brittle in nature, fragile in nature, because the carbon content is more in cast iron. So for this what will happen is, you can see since it is brittle, you can find the crack here which I am showing you. There is a crack here which occurs since it is fragile or brittle in nature. So again the area is increased, the length is decreased. Here it is same thing like mild steel, but you can see the length as well as the area, and here it is the area is increased, the length is decreased, as well there is a crack which is obtained in cast iron. The same property you got to find out, the same result you will be getting it. So this is how is for compression. The tension the same way you have to do. You have to enter all these readings, calculate the initial area, final area. You have to find out the load from the experiment UTM, and then you have to find out the stress, strain, and finally the Young's modulus. You got to plot the graph. The graph is to observe the nature of the graph obtained and locate the ultimate tensile load, yield point, and the breaking load. Then finally you have to come across the compressive also the same way. This is compression, the same, all the tabular column, everything is similar. Only thing is you have to measure the area and the diameter as well as the length and keep it. You have to find out the compressive strength instead of tensile strength, and then breaking strength. Since it breaks, you have to find out the breaking strength. So this is the set of compression test as well as tension test. So both you have to conduct, which will be helpful for finding out the various properties of the material. Thank you.
Compression strength. Next, material mild steel and cast iron. Both one brittle material, one ductile material. Same method. Last tensile test is same method. This one machine capacity 10 tons or 10,000 kgs. Small each division 0.2 per division. Okay, black one is a breaking load, red one is a ultimate load. You select the 0. Okay, release valve and delivery valve. Okay, first you measure the diameter, measure the total diameter, length and diameter. Okay, same both mild steel and cast iron. Okay, you different shackles this side. Okay, already fixing the shackles both sides from compression shackles. Okay, same bottom and top. Okay, already fixing the top and bottom same both. First you fixing the material. Okay, you center, you down the first you touch the specimen. Okay, compression strength start the deflection 0.01, 02, 03, 09, 0.1, 0.2, 0.9, 1, 1.5, 2 last 2 mm last. You touch the specimen. Okay, you check it first. You check the specimen. Okay, next this one dial gauge or dial indicator instrument. Use the instrument. Same least count is here 0.01. Your deflection start 0.01, 02, 03, 09. Okay, your small division is called 0.01, 02, 09. 10 division 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Next 0.75, 1 full rotation 1 mm. 1.5, 2 last. Okay, your deflection. First next you fixing the dial gauge like the 0. You start the machine, your deflection start 0.01 SN, note on the load. Okay, release valve close, delivery valve open. Okay, start machine on 0.01 SN, note down the load. Okay, main steel, yes, note down the deflection. Caster and brittle material is note down the braking load, black one. Okay, you observe the braking load. Black one is a braking load. Caster and is braking, just you note down the braking load. 0.01, 10.8, 0.2, 10.8, 0.03, 10.8, 0.04, 10.8, 0.05, 11, 0.06, 11.2, 0.07, 11.4, 0.07, 0.08, 11.6, 0.09, 11.8, 0.1, 12.2, 0.15, 12.6, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.75, 1, 1.5, 1.75, 2. Okay, release valve open. go up. Okay, next you take, first you measuring for initial diameter, initial length, you take final diameter and final length. Okay, you measure the final diameter and final length.